everyone. Thanks for coming. My name is Shawn Bird. I'm the Chief Academic Officer for PUSD, and I'm glad to be here tonight to talk to you about our high school programs. I'm going to introduce our high school principals. We have amazing high school principals that are here to introduce their students to you. And so we'll start with Ms. Trudell Skinner. She's the principal of Blair Middle and High School.
Good evening. I have two wonderful students from Blair here to be our ambassadors tonight. But before I introduce the students, I have two other staff people with me. I have our IB coordinators, Ms. Karen Law and Mr. Scott Michelson. They will be available at the end if you have any questions. But today, Noli is here from Blair. She's one of our fine seniors. And I also have Ann Saucedo, who's one of our sophomore students.
And from John Muir High School, we have Principal Tim Sipple.
Good evening. Happy New Year. I have three wonderful students here with me tonight, two seniors and a junior. We have Cynthia Sandoval, I almost said it wrong, the 12th grader in our Business Academy, and then Jennifer Salvador, a senior in our Arts Entertainment Media Academy, and then Roxana Gallegos, a junior in our Business Academy. And you'll hear more from them in a moment. Thank you.
And representing Marshall Fundamental School is Principal Anderson.
Yes, it's a very hard name to remember. Everyone calls me Marshall because Mark and Marshall. They say, oh, it's Marshall. I am so happy to be here. Marshall, as you know, the kids are just so wonderful and so intelligent, just the greatest school in the world to be at. And not only, before I introduce these two kids, but two graduates are here running the K-Learn. So right here in the front and then in the back. So you could talk to them too, what it's like to have graduated from Marshall. And we have Sandra Rizzo, our assistant principal, who will be fielding all questions afterwards. So you could ask questions of her. But the stars of the show, and the people you'll probably be most impressed with, is Jonathan Martinez and Aaron Sanchez, both seniors, outstanding young men, really big into service leadership. So thank you so much for coming tonight.
And the principal from Pasadena High School, his name is Gilbert Barraza, but he is unable to be here tonight, so representing Pasadena will be Dr. Marissa Sarian.
So it's really difficult to follow Dr. Anderson, and I'm not as animated as Gilbert Barraza, so I'll try to. So we have from Pasadena High School, we have Daniel Pinto, who's in Law and Public Service Academy. We have Jody Uy, AP and other ASB, Creative Art, CAMAD, yes. And we have Miss Minasian Jolie Minasian, another fabulous student, so thank you.
So the best way to learn about schools is actually to talk to the people who are consumers of the product. So that's our students. They're the people who will tell you the real truth about our schools. So we wanted to give them an opportunity to talk to you, to share their experience about what happens at in a typical school year for them, how their experience has been. And then we're going to give you guys a chance to ask questions after they all have a few minutes at the microphone. So we'll start over here with Blair, and we'll just go down the row. So you guys are just going to talk about your experience at the school, and then some things that you've been particularly involved in at the school. So extracurricular activities, things that you're interested in. Okay? Yeah, sure.
Hello, I'm Noli. I am, as Ms. Skinner said, I'm a senior at Blair, and I am pretty active, actually. I'm in a lot of the clubs. My personal favorite is actually the GSA, our Gay Straight Alliance. I am also a senior in the IB Diploma program, which is a 2-year program during your junior and senior year that I am having a lot of fun in. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ann Saucedo, and I'm a 10th grader at Blair. I am involved in many clubs, including the National Honor Society, and I also play sports, and I am really excited to enter the diploma program next year.
Hi, I'm Cynthia, and I'm a senior at Muir. I am the Vice President of ASB. I am in Green Club, Solar Cup, and I hope to attend UCLA, and I have not decided what to study yet.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm a senior at MIR in the Arts Entertainment Media Academy. I've been involved a lot at school, and I've taken leadership roles such as news editor, dance captain, and chief media officer. I'm also part of Solar Cup, Green Club, and Young Life.
Good evening, my name is Roxana Gallegos. I'm a junior at John Muir High School, and I participate a lot at school, like I'm in the softball team. I'm also an ASB class vice president, and John Muir gives a lot of opportunity. It's an amazing school. Like for example, me and my best friend started our own little business at John Muir, and because I'm in the business academy, it also gave me that opportunity. So it's a great school. Hopefully you guys are looking into it. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Martinez, and I'm a senior at Marshall Fundamental, and I'm in a, yeah. See, we have a lot of school spirit, as Dr. Anderson showed right there. And I'm involved in a few clubs. I play sports at Marshall, and I'm also in the AP program there we have at Marshall. And it's a very nice school, very friendly and safe. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Aaron. I go to Marshall Fundamental. I'm a senior. I go to Marshall, yeah. I want to major in computer science. I play football, and my school is known for almost 300 million scholarships awarded every year. So.
It's okay, I'm short. It's fine. The good part about being short. Anyway, hello, my name is Jolie Manassian, and I am a senior at PHS. I'm an avid, go PHS. Anyway, I am an avid member of Safe School Ambassadors, National Honor Society, California Scholarship Federation, 2016 Club, ASB, and Armenian Club. In addition to that, I'm an avid volunteer to breast cancer awareness advocation. PHS has a lot of pathways that students can jump into from the beginning of 9th grade year, like GCA, VEDA, LPS, and ROTC. Throughout my high school experience, I have taken many honors and AP courses, and I am presently taking 6, so usually my hair, I want to yank it out. Anyway, I plan to be a pediatrician and get my PhD from UCLA Medical School. I am also a student intern in sports med program. I was on the field the day of the turkey tussle, and I'm very glad that the bell is finally home.
Hi, my name is Jody Lee. I'm ASB Treasurer and the Cabinet Member of Yearbook, Green Club, and VEDA 2016. I'm also a proud member of our Creative Arts and Media Design Academy, which splits into VEDA and GCA, where you can learn valuable skills like printing images on clothes, Photoshop, and you can even get certified too. So yeah, thank you. It's a bit short.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Pinto. I'm the lead defense attorney for my LPS Academy, of which I've been part of 4 years. I am the publicity commissioner for my ASB cabinet. I've participated in ROTC for 2.5 years. I'm really happy. I swore in and took my oath as a future sailor this past Monday. Thank you very much. Of course, it would have been nice to know that I was in the top 9% of my class before that happened, but all right. I'm really fortunate to be a part of PHS and really any school in the PUSD. I think it's been a great experience for me, and it will be for the rest of your kids. So thank you very much. I hope you pick what's best for your child.
open up the floor to questions from you, so that you can ask, if you have a specific question for a school, that's fine, or you can just ask general questions about the high school experience, and we can call on students from different schools. But we will these guys will take your questions. No question is prohibited, so ask away. You have the experts here to talk to you, so if you just want to, okay.
If you join one of the academies, what do you give up by going into a particular area?
Okay, so.
Once again, I'm too short for the mic. Anyway, the thing is, with an academy, in addition to you being into the academy, you're into classes that are specialized for that academy. So you're not having usual classes. Sure, you won't get into AP classes, but there's AP Studio Art for GCA and Veda, and there's more it's more directed towards your pathway. And LPS, Law and Public Service, it's more centered into it. Like, for example, my school doesn't have the medical program, but I still love PHS. If they did, I know that Blair does, they specialize it, the pathways, just for the career you want to be in. So
you give up access to AP classes?
No, there is AP classes, but it's just, in a sense, the AP classes, you can take them, but they're not in your pathway. It's not included into your pathway. Yeah, there's still time. Like, for example, the wonderful lady over there named Jody, she does that too.
So Jolie is not in a pathway, so I would like the other two pathway students, so they're both in AP classes, so you are able to maybe. Thank you.
Hi, I'm in the Creative Arts, Media, and Design pathways. I said that earlier, but as far as compromising in order to fit AP classes into my schedule, I don't really have to do that, because while our pathway programs do offer the core classes like math, science, English, and history as part of the academy, the students can also interchange those classes with our AP classes too. So you don't have to make too many hard decisions, but you will have to make some hard decisions if you're involved and you're taking a lot of extracurriculars. And I know that if you're part of ASB, they also take an entire class period for that. So there are some times where you have to maybe abandon an elective class, but it's not too hard.
What is ASB?
ASB is our associated student body. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
From what I understood, the pathway program, the electives are more of the pathway classes, like for law, the crime law classes and graduating, and for that are your electives.
So the question is, are the pathway classes that you take, are those your elective classes if you're in a pathway?
Yes, ma'am, you're absolutely correct. My freshman year, I took Fundamentals in Law 1, sophomore, Fundamentals in Law 2. Junior year, I had Criminology, and this year I'm taking Forensic Science. So being in a pathway will essentially mean only your elective will only have to be compromised for. Everything else will be taken, every other subject such as biology will be taken within that pathway with elements of, for instance, in my case, law thrown in.
So it would be like forensics and stuff like that?
Precisely.
Instead of basic biology?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, but let's say you are in your program, but you want an AP biology, then you would give up the forensics one, the one that's geared towards that career, and take an AP biology?
That's correct.
So you have the choice?
Yes, ma'am.
And then students that want to participate in other activities like orchestra, band, those kind of things, there are 0 periods or after-school options. Students that participate in sports generally do that after school. And so at Marshall, I know they have a band. The band is 0 period, right? So students, as a former high school principal, I'll just tell you that students that are heavily involved, at some point they do have to make choices about what they're going to really focus on and what they're going to not focus on so much. It is about what their interests are, and we want them to explore a variety of interests, but highly involved students do have to at some point make choices about what they're, or come before school or stay after school to participate in those things. Yes, ma'am.
what universities want? Being in a pathway, is that going to be an issue? I know that most universities want a couple years of language. Are you able to do that as well? Do you have to go to summer school?
So the question for the cameras is, if being in a pathway, does it prohibit you from taking all your A through G requirements for college, for UC CSU entrance? Yeah, how about Mir?
So at Mir, we have, unlike PHS, we have 3 general academies. So we have business, arts, and engineering. And for us, it's not like they take us out of anything. It's just all our classes are like based on it. So we have English with a business academy teacher if you're in the business academy, just so our teachers can like collectively work together the best way to teach you. And for us, it's not like, your question was if universities, yeah, it's not a problem for us. I've taken 3 years of Spanish, and my academy has not in any way interfered with that. It actually helps you, like the business academy, along with the other academies, give you real life skills that you're actually going to use, no matter what you choose. So it's not like, oh, if I, if I'm in the business academy, I don't have to major in English to actually use what they taught me. I can use it generally. So, thank you.
And so our academy, the academies are called college and career academies. So it's not just career preparation, it's also college prep. And we encourage all of our students to complete we want all of our students to be college ready. So A through G requirements should be met. And for those of you who are not familiar with A through G, that's a series of classes that if you take and complete with at least a C or better, then it prepares you for admission to the University of California or California State. So there are other issues. If you want to go to UCLA, you're going to need to have much better than a C in those classes. Those impacted schools, you're going to need to be in the top couple percentage points of your class to get in. But those courses prepare you for just basic the right to apply and be prepared for admission to those schools. I'd like to add to that. Come to the mic though.
To further add to that answer, our PHS also offers 3 academies, and of course, just like MIR, they don't interfere with any languages. I believe the requirement is 2 years. However, to expand, I believe your question was on college requirements or whether they like to see pathway activities. Am I correct? Okay. The Law and Public Service Fundamentals in Law 3 and 4, so junior year and senior year, just got A through G approved into the UC system. So they don't specifically want to, they're not actively searching for pathway students, but it's something to put on your college apps, and I have experience in that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So for Marshall, my first period consists of AP Spanish, Lit. So what Marshall did was create a pathway with PCC. So since I got a C or better in that class, I get PCC credit. And for this semester, they're gonna do the same thing. So that means I'm already graduating with college credit. So yeah, I save a lot of money.
That's right.
At Mir, we basically offer a block schedule. So in total, we have 8 classes, and we basically have like a class. So we have odd and even days, and we take 4 classes each day, and none of the AP classes interfere, from the academies, and we also offer the PCC course that we're having this semester now. So students will be able to take college courses after school, so there's no interference when we have an academy.
And adding to what Ms. Sandoval said, yes, we do have 3 academies at John Muir. And for example, let's say I'm in the business academy. I could take an art class that corresponds to the Arts and Entertainment Academy. So I could be in a ceramics class and for an elective. So pretty much our academies at John Muir, they go together, well together, and they don't intervene at all. So.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
that are taking honors classes, what are some of the, if you're faced with like a challenging class, say it's a subject that you're having trouble with, what are some of the things that you do to ensure that, you're able to lift your grade up?
So for students who are taking honors classes, what do you do? If you're having trouble, how do you, is there help available? How do you help improve your grades?
Okay, well, at Marshall, we have AP classes, and a lot of teachers that are very helpful. When I'm struggling on a certain subject, I stay after school with some friends. We teach each other, or I go ask my teacher for help. They're there at lunch, after school, or even before school. And we have tutoring after school, too, for both Mondays through Thursdays for different clubs run it. We have National Honor Society runs tutoring Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we have Unidos run tutorings on Mondays and Wednesdays. So you can always go to those tutorings to learn to get help on subjects you need help in. Yeah.
So talk about IB. Talk about the IB program.
Okay, and I'm actually taking IB classes, which are similar to AP, but there are a few differences. And there's a lot more depth of knowledge. Like I have to know very specific details. Like for instance, in biology, I have to know very specific details about different body parts. Like I have to know exactly how to label a heart and draw it. And if you're having trouble with that, I have to take the extra initiative if I am having trouble with something. But my teachers are actually very accommodating. Like I can stay after school these days, and they can stay after these other days. And usually something will line up, or I can come in before school some days, like if I don't have a 0 period day, I can come in on a non-0 period day. And you can also come in during lunch and nutrition. They're always willing to help. You just have to go and ask and make sure that they know that you're having trouble. It's really actually very easy to keep up and not have issues, and if you are, because the teacher's always willing to help.
At John Muir, people who are struggling in their classes or AP classes, we offer many tutorings. Like we have CAP, which is College Access Plan. We have Upward Bound, which offers tutoring, and other sports that give you the help that you need. Like the school itself has its own little after-school program in the library. And well, the help is available everywhere. Teachers help, even students help each other. So there you go.
Real quick, yes. You said you're involved in sports?
Yes.
Let's say you needed help with something in one of your classes, in sports or after school. So there are other opportunities to get extra help.
So you can get help at times other than just after school if you're involved in extracurricular activities. I have to repeat these for the team. That's why.
Okay, oh, that's fine. Yes, you do get help. Like actually today I had a tutoring session for the softball team 1 hour before we go to practice. So right after tutoring, we go to practice.
So your softball team went to tutoring?
Yes, we have, it's like yes, whatever you need help in.
So your whole team went to tutoring?
Yes. Yeah.
At Blair, our teachers are open at lunch and nutrition every day for help, as well as many come in before school. So they encourage you to come in whenever you have time. So if you are involved in sports or have an extracurricular activity after school, they are open anytime during the day for your convenience.
Teachers are available in the morning, like they don't just come in when school starts, like in middle school?
So the teachers, I mean, we have a collective bargaining agreement with our teachers, and they have a contract that they follow, but however, most teachers work well above and beyond their contract and are available to help students at any time, as they've indicated today. Anybody else want to add to?
At Pasadena High School, we also have a lot of dedicated teachers like all the schools here do. And we also offer tutoring before school, during school, after school, also as part of Learns and Upward Bound too. And we actually, our teachers and coaches are very willing to work with you too. Usually what would happen is, I know that a student at our school, her name is Megan McCrite. She does water polo, swim team, and tennis. And so she's also skipped AP Physics 1 and went straight to AP Physics 2. And so what happened is she needed a lot of tutoring after school, and so she worked it out with her coach to go to tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then swim team practice all the other days of the week. Thank you.
Do you need to apply to these academies in 8th grade? And what happens if you change your mind? Can you change? You know, how does that process?
So do you need to apply to get into the academy? And then what happens if you change your mind once you're in the academy? Can you switch from your person?
Yes, you do need to apply during 8th grade. For example, I went, in my middle school, a counselor from John Muir High School went to my middle school and asked me, what is your interest? What academy would you like to be in? I actually entered John Muir High School in the Arts Academy. So I did 2 years there, my 9th and 10th grade, and I switched over my 10th grade to the Business Academy without any problem. I just wrote a note just saying why I wanted to switch and why I wanted to be in this Business Academy. So it's that simple. Thank you.
So we ask students to commit to the academy for at least 1 year, but part of it is to explore. So if they really, we want them to decide and really find their passion earlier. And so if they choose to change, that's not a problem because a lot of the skills are transferable. Students are learning to, develop the skills that they're going to need to succeed in college and in life. So some of the things they're learning can be applied in other industry sectors and in other academies.
Are there a limited number of spots in each such that it's competitive?
So if you, for the school that is in your attendance area, you need to, it's very easy. You just tell the counselor that you want your child to be in an academy. But we also have 35 to 50, depending on the size of the academy, 35 to 50 open enrollment spaces in each of our academies. So yes, so when you do the drop-down menu with open enrollment, I don't know, maybe Ms. Duran wants to explain that. So if you would like to go to, if your child wants to be part of Blair Health Careers Academy, you have a better chance of having that spot if you apply for Blair HCA, not just Blair General. But, if you receive that spot, you are there for the academy. So if you choose not to be in the academy, you have to go back to your home school.
Can you speak to the new requirements for graduation? I don't know that these guys will work with that.
Yeah. So Dr. Sarin will talk about those.
So our graduation requirements are aligned with our graduate profile. So we want students to graduate with very specific skills. So when we looked at our graduate profile, we noticed that we don't measure some of the things we expect of our graduates. So that's what we've added to the graduation requirements for the current 9th grade class. They are required to do community service or work-based learning. So we have a 40-hour requirement over 4 years. They can choose to do 10 hours a year or do all of it the summer before their senior year. They have to complete at least 1 semester of career technical education, because I think it's really beneficial, and this is kind of where our state is moving in our nation. The career readiness component is something that is being emphasized, and the readiness of our students is dependent on that. So students have to at least have some career exploration, explore a career in a CTE class. But the biggest requirement change is a senior defense and a portfolio. So before students graduate, beginning with the class of 2019, they have to create a portfolio of their best work or study a subject in depth and then be able to defend it in front of a panel. So that's the third requirement that was added. And also, I'm sorry, health, the health class, because so the CTE class is 5 credits, 1 semester, and they are required to do 1 semester of health.
And is there room in their schedules to accommodate those changes?
So that's a very good question. So a lot of our students already complete the CTE requirements, so that's not as hard to get in. But with the health requirement, we have created options. So a lot of our current 9th graders actually completed that requirement last summer before they even entered high school. So we have summer school offerings. Twilight, our night school, is offering those courses, and we're looking at online options and other ways so that, you know, we don't take away choice, but we deliver this critical information to them. So who remembers the new requirements? CTE 5 credits, health 5 credits, senior defense and portfolio, community service, work-based learning hours.
I think we have one more question over here. Maybe not. Yes, ma'am.
Marshall, you had mentioned the number of scholarships the students get awarded at that school. Can you speak to like how early on in their high school career that they are applying for those scholarships? Is it junior year, or just are they everybody waiting until senior year?
So if you want to talk about the college scholarship application process and what kind of support you receive from the school, when do you apply? What kinds of things do they do to help you?
Okay, so for scholarships, usually apply for them senior year or maybe the summer going into senior year. And also we have one counselor who emails every student with their school email about letting them know a list of scholarships, something when to do, information on that. So you can also in the counseling office, there's a booklet of just scholarships. You can look through it, see which ones interest you, and yeah, you just, yep. Yeah, it's kind of, and oh yeah, and there's PUSD too, which is, and also junior year, they let us know, we have counselors come in into our classes and they just talk about PUSD and other like Gates Millennium, and that's top one, other scholarship, yeah, FAFSA, and yeah, and also we have CAP after school, which is so before we apply to colleges, they offer us SAT classes, and they help us prepare for that. And after that, we have scholarship. This last week, the past 2-3 weeks, they've been helping us with our FAFSA application, and it's any other application in general that you had questions on. And they're there every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. Yeah.
In addition to that, the school district tests every 10th grader with the PSAT. We pay for that, and then juniors take it. If they have a 3.0 or better, then the district also pays for that expense. So, and we are starting next year. We'll offer 8th grade. Yeah, ACT prep and for 8th grade students. So we have a plan that we're building out so that all of our students have the option. You know, it's very important to us as a school district that every student that graduates from one of our schools is educated and so has access to college options. Yeah, so that's a big part of the philosophy of the school district, and we want to make sure, no matter demographic reality of a student, no matter what, we want to make sure they have access and they have information, and that parents are informed also. So we have programs for parent education along those lines too.
So on the scholarship question you had, at John Muir, we have actually had 5 students so far win the Gates Millennium Scholarship Award. So last year, my friend, last year one of my friends, Kimberly Mejia, she won. She wrote like 8 essays, and they are paying for her to go to UC Berkeley for free. So 5 students at Muir have done it, and I don't think the other high school, just saying.
And Gates is a big deal. That's a life-changing award, and that takes you all the way through graduate school if you want. So it's not just a bachelor's degree, it's all the way through graduate school. I have a former student when I was a teacher who earned that award in 2000. She's now a Broadway actress in New York, and she has a master's in fine arts, and all that was a free ride. So it's a pretty incredible, life-changing thing for our students. Other questions?
In terms of, because I know this is new also, this is probably the second year of integrated math. What should they have taken in middle school? I mean, how does it all work?
So the district moved to integrated math. I mean, that was part of the transition to Common Core. And for those of you who are not familiar, when you were in school, you took Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. In high school, that was a normal sequence of classes. Now we have what's called Integrated Math 1, 2, and 3. And so those classes are, just as they suggest, integrated. So there's algebra, geometry, and trig in all of those classes. So it's a conceptual approach to mathematics. In middle school, those courses were changed to align to the Common Core also. So there are still actually some students that are still in that sequence of Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. They just have, because they were in the transition years. So, but now all current 9th graders are taking Math 1, and all current 10th graders. Those are those students, so your students that are matriculating up will definitely be in the new. So they should be prepared. If they've been in our middle schools, they've been in Common Core Math.
They were in a private school or something like that, how?
Yeah. Well, I mean, middle school math is pretty universal everywhere, so, you know, it's basic pre-algebra principles, those kind of things, so so it shouldn't be an issue. Students coming to high school.
They take a test to start, or?
No, they enter it, right, unless they're in an honors track and from their middle school, unless they've, some kids are on an accelerated path, but that would have happened in middle school.
So to get in the honors or IB system, do they need a test in, or or is the high school just going to look at their transcripts from middle school?
Sure.
I am actually an IB student who transferred to PUSD last year. I was actually in Maryland in my sophomore year, and it is a worldwide program, which is why I could transfer. And there is no testing to get into an honors and AP or an IB class. You just have to know going in that it's going to be a lot of work. And sorry, it's actually, there's no testing, you just have to choose. And personally, I made that choice much younger, but a lot of people I know chose actually their sophomore year. And it's at Blair, it's encouraged to do an IB class because starting 11th grade, we don't necessarily have AP because an IB class prepares you for both the AP and the IB test. So a lot of students last year took AP history of the Americas, which 11th grade year is U.S. history, and they're also taking IB English, and they took IB physics, all of which prepare you for the AP exams of that correspond with what year you're in. So there's no test. You just have to know that this is going to be a much higher level and a college preparatory level. So you're going to be doing a lot of writing and a lot of reading and a lot of work. But your counselor will recommend you, but it's specifically up to you.
And I would like to encourage all of you that are parents to encourage your students to take AP coursework or IB coursework. The challenge is important for students if you want them to be successful in college. It's important to have some challenge. Colleges do look at that in transcripts, not necessarily what your grades are, but if you've attempted a rigorous high school program. And there's research from the College Board that's very compelling that says that students that have attempted AP coursework, even if they don't pass the test at the end with a 3, 4, or 5 to get the credit for college, but even if they've just attempted the coursework, they're far more likely to complete college within 5 years than students who have not attempted AP coursework. So it's very important. Now, I don't, and this is just my advice, take it for what it's worth, but you know, they don't need to take every class AP. They need to take things that they're good at so that they can be successful and they can be challenged, and it's an appropriate level of challenge. We don't need to, they're still in high school and they still have other interests that we want them to explore. So I would just encourage you to talk with your students about, and they know their interests, and so let them explore those things that they really want to perhaps major in college.
I don't have these numbers offhand, so maybe our principals will help us. I know that last year we really opened access to AP courses, really increased by 20-30% the number of students who actually were in our AP classes. And we actually improved our pass rate. So the notion that, if you allow more kids to participate, that we're going to somehow water down the curriculum, that's not true. We let in more students. I don't know if you have any statistics offhand? Oh.
It's all across the district.
Yes, across the district, but, very impressive increases. So. And I know, Zoli, I know that, you take a lot of AP classes. Do you want to add something?
For one thing, I know that PHS, we have 22 AP classes that we offer. So, some people, if you're in GCA or you like art, there's AP Studio Art. If you're a physics genius, you can take the physics test. And, there's like a plethora of like other things that you can do. I'm sorry, big word. Plethora means a lot. Anyway, so there's a lot of range in PHS. I don't know the statistics for the other schools, but Mr. Braza was really, really happy when he said PHS has the most AP classes. So like your students will be really, really happy because they have a lot of a choice with PHS. I don't know, maybe Blair has 20 or, only we're winning them by 2. I don't know. But you never know, we're still winning. Anyway. But still, there's a choice, and I like how you said it. I like how she said it because it's not really, it's a choice. It's not really you need to take a test and you get into the class. It's something you choose. Like, I didn't get forced by my parents to take 6 APs. I wasn't forced to get a 0 period and take Spanish 3 at 6:50 in the morning, get up at 5:30 and do that. But I did that because I want to get there. I want to get to UCLA by myself as an individual person, and I'm going to get there like through everything. I'm going to use my blood, sweat, and tears. I don't care when I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have sleep deprivation. I don't care as long as I get where I want to be, So, yeah.
All right. Other questions for our students? Yes, ma'am. If they've taken advanced classes in middle school, how can they continue in high school? So in high school, the AP coursework is open enrollment. So anybody can take it. If they have a desire to do it, they can enroll in those courses and take it. Depending on some schools do have 9th grade, depending on the course.
I understand PHS only has one class available for freshmen and 9th grade? Correct. But the other classes, they have honors available, right? Correct. That would be the route that advanced.
Right, there's honors in there, yeah. So AP generally AP courses are 11th and 12th grade courses because they take a test so they can get college credit. And so in order for the College Board to validate that experience, it needs to be a freshman level college work. So generally it's going to be 11th and 12th graders. Now, what we haven't talked about tonight is, nobody's asked about it, so I'll just talk about it, is dual enrollment. We have a partnership with PCC, and, somebody did talk about it, yes. Students are allowed to take courses during the school day, but also after school at Muir. There's a satellite campus for PCC. So any student from any of our high schools can go to after school, and then they can also take certain courses during the school day. So that's another credit opportunity for college.
Like, let's say a PHS student wants to take one of those classes. Where do they go? Do they go to PCC or do they go to Muir?
If they're taking there's a satellite campus at Muir that offers PCC courses, so they would go to Muir High School. We do have a student, I can't remember, she's from Muir. Yeah. There are some students that take coursework actually at the PCC campus. There's a student taking a sociology class this semester that she goes to the PCC campus to take the course after school. Yeah. Yeah, but during the school day during the school day they're just at Marshall or Blair or wherever. They're at the school during the 8 to 3 school day. These are additional courses. If they take the courses after school at the satellite campus, of course they're going to be with college students. They're not just going to be with high school students. It's a mixture. Anybody can take those courses.
That would be for freshmen and seniors.
Yeah, generally juniors and seniors. Right.
I know you said AP classes are open, but the honors track, you don't test into that?
In addition to the honors track, and I know maybe Dr. Anderson can help, with the math, the integrated math, there's opportunities to actually accelerate and like compress the curriculum and to have kids, we really encourage acceleration. There's nothing worse than having a student get disengaged because they already know the material or the pace is not their pace. So there's a lot of thought that's gone into this work, and I know Dr. Anderson for the last few years has been involved in the process, so maybe he can.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I had the most wonderful kids, really. In PUSD, one of the great foundations is this focus on diversity and focus on equity and access for all. So I could really, I don't know the other schools as well, so I don't love them like I love Marshall, so I could really just focus on what I know and what the work is at Marshall, but it is this way at other schools as well. And we are big about, we're not going to put up barriers. I will not be the person that keeps your child out of college. I will not be the person that keeps your child from getting into those classes that gets into college. I will be the person that opens up the doors and pushes them into those classes. So we do not believe in testing out. You could go to other schools nearby in other districts, and they will put a test up, and then they know before September 1st, all these kids are going to get 5s and the highest scores on their AP exams, or they're going to get 7s on the IB exams, which is the highest score, but they've kept everybody else out. So we believe, let's bring more people in, let's build up our diversity, give them access. And the research and our experience at Marshall is those kids end up doing better. And even if a kid takes this high access, this high rigorous course, and they end up not passing the exam, when they go to college, they will pass that class with ease. And so we do not put up barriers. You come in. Now the one thing though, I'm a very nice person, but I'm actually really mean. You come in and you say to me, hey, I really want my child to come in, and I'll sit down and I'll look at the grades and say, well, they have some low grades previously. Do you think they could handle it? And the parents advocate for your child. That's your job, so they'll advocate and they'll say, no, my child could do it. They could really do it. Once you are in, you are committed for a year. You do not get to come to me in October crying, saying this was too high. You said you're taking it. You are in it now for a year, and you're going to buck up and you're going to do the work, because that's what you have to do. And so then at the end of the year, we could reassess again. But once you're in, you're in. We're doing the work. There's no easy way out of hard work. So that's essentially our focus of AP. And I think it's probably time to end, Dr. Bird. Oh, you didn't talk about music. There's great music and arts programs in PUSD. I know at the different schools, they all have different bands, orchestras, jazz bands. The middle school programs have really developed it. Marshall's band is ranked in the state, which is it's just amazing. They're so wonderful. So you could get involved in visual arts, performing arts, the different academies and pathways. Each of the schools have one that focuses on art. I know Mira is a media one, and then the CAMAD. There's 3D design printing programs in each of the schools that are very well developed. Obviously, I'm very biased which one is the best one. So there's a great way to integrate art and to have your kids integrated art, and it's very rigorous. And I always think, what I tell kids, the best thing about high school, you're going to do things that you'll never do as an adult. Because how many of you are going to go try out for your local community theater, are going to go join an adult sports league, are going to join the local community orchestra? You're not. But in high school, that's when you do all those things. You get involved in arts and sports and drama, and you get to do all those fun things. And so it's just a great time of life, a great time to celebrate our kids and who they are. So you want to wrap up, Dr. Bird? Guys, I want to say thanks for coming, and let's go home.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. So as Dr. Anderson indicated, your kids are entering a very exciting time in their life. It's a very important 4 years, because what they do, the decisions they make, are going to have an impact on their future in terms of the kinds of options they have for college. So we are here to support them along the way. We have amazing high school principals and counselors at our schools, and amazing teachers. I want to thank you on behalf of the district for sending your kids to our schools and entrusting us with your most prized possessions, your children. We do take it very seriously, and we do thank you for entrusting us with their education. So if we can, we'll hang around a little bit after, but we're going to let these guys go because they have homework to do. They have a lot of AP classes they have to get taken care of. So thank you guys for coming. And thank you for coming. Good night.